All right, traders, we're going to be doing another live trading session today. Let's just get straight into it here. So the market's going to be opening up in 7 minutes. As you can see, I am currently looking at SPY. That is going to be one of my top watches today. We are currently approaching a major resistance level, a previous gap fill level, where SPY had a nasty reversal. And as soon as this started to happen, this is where you started to see a lot of people flood, social media with another potential market crash. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how SPY reacts. As you can see right here, this is the gap fill level I'm talking about at 464.60. Had a pretty big crash. Wasn't too long ago where it went from 464 to 448. So we'll see. There's also a gap to fill above at 469. That would be the best price to buy puts to short the SPY. So I'm going to be very interested in seeing, if it can get up there. If it can do that, I'd be very interested in potentially getting puts on SPY. But yeah, SPY is going to be the top watch heading into market open today. All right, guys, let me know in the chat what stocks you were looking at. I got my watch list right here. We built this out from scratch yesterday, and then we also added a lot of, stocks on our midterm watch list. This is more of like a more short-term one that I'm keeping it on. But yeah, stocks are currently ripping, so we'll see how they react towards market open. But yeah, some of the top watches for today is going to be OCGN, Lucid stock. Lucid's approaching this gap fill at 47.27. OCGN filled a gap from 525. And if you study how it reacted from that level, you could see right here it filled the gap right here at 525 and it exploded up this key trend line right here. So that's going to be very interesting for a potential swing. We'll see. So far, it's bottomed out that level. Let's see. So, I mean, for the most part, what I would like to see happen is I would like to see all these stocks that gapped up kind of retrace themselves back to the previous closing price, and then we'll see how they react for a potential reversal. That's what I would like to see happen. As for PROG, you know, if you watched my video yesterday, like I told you guys, I'm more long biased. I'm still long biased for the short term being on this one, and we're doing a really good job right now of maintaining above that key 285 level. So now we just really need to maintain above 3. But so far so good. The key for this to continue to run, it needs to stay above the previous closing price. If you get, a green to red move on this, it's going to get ugly these next couple days. So you just need to maintain above 282. That should be like the main goal today. Maintain above 282 for true short-term strength. Stay above 3. But yeah, PROG as of now is looking good. So we'll see. So remember, if this continues to maintain above 3, we're looking at $4 a share for a swing trade. And then the max risk would be like 270 on that. The max risk would be 270. If it cracks 270, it's basically over for the short term. That's when it'll get crushed if it cracks 270. It's a huge downside level. Went from 270 straight to 230. But so far it's looking good. Zoom. I want to see how Zoom reacts towards 185. I'm also keeping a close eye on Moderna on mRNA. So mRNA, there was a gap fill right here at 251. Has it filled? It has not. So I'm kind of waiting on that one. I'm really interested in buying mRNA. I just want it to go a little bit lower towards like 240s to 250s and then ride this back up to fill the gaps towards the mid 300s. That's going to be like a good midterm swing trade with call options. So I'm waiting on that one. All right, so I'm going to keep a very close eye on OCGN here, guys. OCGN. Going to keep a very close eye on this one. I got this one on my other screen. Let's see. So SYTA is approaching some major resistance here towards 550s. We could see how it reacts towards that level. For this one, I'm more interested in shorting this one. All right, I just got a price alert on BFRI. And Lucid filled the gap. I just got the price alert on the gap fill for Lucid. All right, let's see what Lucid is doing here. All right, so Lucid is filling the gap right here at 47.27. Let's see how it reacts. SYTA is approaching pre-market highs. PROG is maintaining above 3. Okay, it just went under. Let's see. Okay, we'll see. That is not a good candle though. That's really bearish right there. But we'll see. Zoom. Yeah, I really like Zoom. I think Zoom could really start to run within like a week. I'm gonna keep an eye on Zoom. It looks like mRNA is gonna continue to go lower towards the gap fill zone at 252. I think that's where it's heading within some time. Okay, so OCGN is breaking down. Lucid. So let's see, the gap fills at 47.27. The high is 47.25. So it partially filled the gap, missed it by 2 cents. Now it's having a little reversal here. All right, so as of now, PROG is still struggling at $3 a share. Like I said, if this goes from green to red, we're most likely headed back to 230 by the end of the week. So just keep that in mind, especially if 282 cracks and reacts as a resistance for the short term. This is going to see some nice downside to 230s. Yeah, this PROG is starting to get a little interesting here. All right, so guys, I am currently short on PROG at 290. My mental stop is going to be sitting towards like 315, right around 315. I think we're going to get like, a green to red move here. And like I said, if 282 reacts as a resistance, it'll be on track to really start to crack that 270. And it's basically like, it's pretty downhill once 270 cracks. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm currently in a short position on PROG. So as of now, it's a day trade. It could turn into a swing trade. I have to see. But this is something where this can definitely turn into a swing trade. So we'll see. All right, so I'm in one trade that was made today. It is a short position on PROG at 288. That's my current average. So here's the deal with this one, guys. Here's the deal with PROG. Your key levels are 282 and 270. If those crack and react as resistance, you're basically looking at a free fall within like 2 days for a push back to like 225. That's what we're looking at. Now, if 270 to 285 can hold up, you're looking for a push back towards $3 a share. And then if that breaks out, it goes to like 320. So we'll see. This is like key. Like right now, it's pretty much make it or break it for the Bulls. Like this 382 level, that is your key. I'm telling you, like if this goes from, green to red, things get really, really ugly when 270 cracks. So just keep that in mind. So you basically really need to see the Bulls hold this level for this to continue to run for the short term. Otherwise, it's just not going to look good for the short term being. So that's my thoughts on it. This is like your key. For me to cover my short, it would have to hold this 280s and then rip back up to like 310. So we'll see how it reacts. I'm currently short biased on it. Okay, so Lucid is having that gap close reversal. We talked about that from the watch list yesterday. So for those of you who took that trade, it's working out very, very nicely for a nice scalp, filling the gap below. So OCGN, I'm keeping an eye on this. This needs to stay above 540. That's key for OCGN. It needs to stay above 540. I'm just watching it for now. Let's see. Okay, so far mRNA is holding up at that gap fill level, starting to have a little reversal. Yeah, I'm gonna hold off on this. It's most likely gonna continue to pop here. I'm gonna hold off. I want to get a better entry for that swing. Day trade wise though, it looks like mRNA can really start to run. So if you're looking for a scalp, that has some potential. All right, guys, to give you an update on PROG. So we've now cracked the key level. So remember, when a stock cracks support, that does not mean that the bears are in control. The bears take control when the stock bounces back up and turns it into a resistance level. So I want you to think of your key level as 282 and 270. So if those start to crack, and then when it bounces back up, if they react as a resistance or if it forms lower highs, meaning it can't even go back to those levels, it's topping out at a lower level, then the bears have truly taken control, and this will be on track to go back to like 230 within like 2 days from that happening. So we'll see. We just hit the key level. We'll see how it reacts. As you can see, the bulls are already trying to step in with this candle, but you got to give it some time. You can't just go off like a 1 minute candle. All right, let's see. Let's see. We could look to see how Lucid reacts at this gap fill at 44.86. Comments on ASAN. So we had a big gap up today. It needs to stay above this level, 72.50. That's your key level. If it can't stay above that, it's going to be heading back to fill the gap below. Your key level is 72.50. If it can maintain above that, it's going to continue to run for the gap fill. So 72.50 is that key level to keep an eye on. I'll add it to my watch list. You're looking at some bigger downside if 72 cracks. You're looking at some bigger downside. As of now though, it's holding up, which is good. So far so good. All right, so OCGN is currently bottoming at that key 540 level. I'm really starting to like this chart that's in development. You know, it bottomed at 525, that key support level, shot up to 560. Now you got some higher support attempting to form at 540, and it's trying to rip back up for a new high. So like I said, I'm going to keep a close eye on OCGN. For the short term, it looks like it's going to really try to fill this gap. You got a gap to fill at 575. All right, so stocks are currently they're currently trying to go back down to fill their gaps below. That's like what it seems like is happening. As for SPY though, SPY is still holding up. So for SPY, I'm waiting till 460, 469. So the highest gap to fill above, it's sitting almost at the new all-time highs it had, is right here at 469.44. This is where we can potentially see a short-term reversal, a short-term crash. So I'm looking to potentially get puts around this area. We have to see how it reacts. All right, so guys, let's do a quick update on PROG stock. So we're still sitting above that key, 282 level. So we'll see. I mean, it is attempting your previous support right here at 284. It is trying to turn it into resistance. You had the new low right here. It's pushing back up. It's trying to turn it into resistance. I'm still short biased on PROG. I'm still holding my short from, $2.88. So we'll see how this reacts. But I mean, it's still holding up. BBIG. Okay, so BBIG is finally retracing back. If you guys watched my previous video, I told you for the short term, I see us heading back to fill this gap. There was a gap to fill 284. So here's the deal with BBIG. The key level is 284. If this reacts as a resistance level, it's going to have a reversal. Then it's going to start to fill this gap to fill below at 254. Now, if this can break out and turn 284 into support, then that means the bulls have really started to gain control. And they're going to try to push this back up to 320s. That's where it'd be heading for the short term. So your make it or break it right now for the short term is going to be this 284 level. Just think of 284 as your make it or break it level right now. Reacts as a resistance, it heads back to 254 to fill the gap. Reacts as a support, it goes to your low threes. So keep an eye on BBIG. All right, so SYTA has gotten new high of day. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to do anything with this one for the moment. SNDL. So yeah, for this one, just wait. Just wait for the long term. Like this will go lower. This can go to like fill the gaps here at like 20 to 40 cents in between that range. Just wait for like 20 to 40 cents. Wait in between that range. I wouldn't do anything with this one for now. All right, so Lucid is about to fill the gap. Um, let's see. All right, so guys, we're starting to get confirmation. So in terms of PROG, this is not good. This is like really, really bearish. So just to kind of show you what's going on, your key level is at 282. It had a small pullback, went to 278 cracking, spiked back up, and as you can see, your previous support right around here at 288 to 283 is now reacting as resistance. And again, like I tell you guys all the time, this is the most bearish confirmation. If you see this forming as a resistance level, right? So your support is down here at 278. Your resistance right here, tops of these wicks. So the top of these wicks is where your resistance is right now, towards like 286. In terms of your support, it's the bottom of these wicks at 278. See how this gravestone doji is forming at resistance, which was previous support. That is so bearish. That is extremely bearish. If you see that occur at resistance levels, the stock is most likely going to have a reversal and really start to break down and like form new lows. So that is extremely bearish. So in terms of like confirmation, now would be the time to literally add to the short position. Like that's confirmation. So that just leads me to be even more short biased on PROG. For those of you, if you don't want to short it, you can also play the put options. In terms of the option chain, I would look into like December 17th, and I would look into a 2.5 to 3.5 strike. I would look into those. So you can either play it in the money at 3 or, slightly out of the money at 2.5. Those are the ones that I would look into. But guys, this is basically, it looks like it's over for the short term being like, I think we're going to go back to like 230 by the end of this week. So I'm going to continue to hold this out. It's looking really bearish. Now, we still need to go under 270 though. That's like your key level. So the bulls can still take control. 270 is a very strong support level. But if that cracks, I mean, this is basically headed back to 230. So we'll see. It's gonna take time for this to really play out. All right, so guys, BBIG has filled the gap. Gap fill level at 284 is now filled. So yeah, BBIG is going to be a top watch. If it can maintain above this level, I'm going to consider buying this one. Lucid just filled the gap as well. So the key for BBIG now is you need to see 284 hold up. If it can hold up here, it's going to continue to run and shoot towards like 320s. So that's key. This is like a key critical level for BBIG. We got to see how it reacts here. So that's going to be a top watch right now. Let's take a look on Lucid stock. So let's see. I'm telling you, PROG is a money maker if you're a trader. Like if you're day trading it, or if you want to do a short-term swing trade, that's the plan on this stock. If you're just holding it, very hard to make money on that one. But I'm telling you, if you're getting in and out, day trading or making like a short-term swing trade, that stock is a money maker. It works so well with the gap close reversal strategy, with the gap fill strategy. Um, so I mean, this should do well. This trade should do well. I really think we're headed back towards 230. We just really need to take out 270. That's that next level. So we'll see. I mean, it's still holding above 280s. But yeah, I wanna focus on BBIG here. It's gonna be a little interesting to see how this reacts. So here, I'm gonna draw the trend line at the key level. This is where it needs to stay above. Like it cannot turn this into a resistance level. Ooh, nice breakdown on PROG. Nice breakdown. All right, so I'm gonna set a price alert at or below 284 on BBIG. And then we'll do at or above like 295. So far, it's having a positive reaction. So let's take a look on PROG. So yeah, guys, there it is. Like I told you, pay attention to the dojis. This stock works so well with the dojis, works so well with the strategies. Like, guys, this stock is a moneymaker. It's free money. So just to give you an update on the position. So just to give you an update on the short position here. As you can see, I am still in my short position. So my average is currently sitting at, as you can see, my average is currently sitting at $2.87.5. And I'm going to continue to ride this one out. I want to cover in like the lower twos, like your 230s. So this is going to be a potential swing trade as well. You can also look to get put options. But as you can see, I mean, the stocks currently get slaughtered. Like I'm up nearly 6% in like 15 minutes. So yeah, that's the update for PROG. If we take a look at the chart, as soon as it formed that doji, it's been downhill ever since. So you got to pay attention to those dojis. The next key level is 270s. 270s is your only hope. Like if 270s cannot hold up, you're looking at a slippery slope to 230s. And then that's where I'll look to start taking in profits towards your 230s. So 270s is going to be the next key level. I'm going to set a price alert at or below. Like we'll do at or below 267. In the meantime, I'm just holding this out. There's no reason for me to cover into that panic because the bears are still very nicely in control of this. All right, so for SOS, let's see. Okay, so BBIG. All right, guys, BBIG is taking over. Yesterday, PROG was the play. BBIG is taking over, man. The bulls are showing signs of strength. So we got the gap fill at 284. Ever since that gap filled, it's been having a positive reaction as of now. So this was the gap fill we were talking about at 284. It filled the gap. As of now, it's breaking out, having a very positive reaction. I mean, it looks like we're on track for 320 for today. I think we'll be able to get into the lower threes. And then if it can maintain above 285 and hold up, I mean, we're looking at 391. So this is what you got to understand about BBIG. Your key level is at like 285 right here. If that breaks down and reacts as a resistance, it goes back to fill the gap at 250. Now, if this key level, 285, turn into support, starts breaking out, then within some time, it's on track to fill the gap at 391. But yes, so far so good. BBIG is having a positive reaction. So far so good on that one. I'm gonna give it some time though. I'm not doing anything with it for now. All right, let's see. Um, all right, all right. All right, guys, I'll be back in 1 minute. So right now for PROG, as it's bouncing back up here, what I'd like to see happen is I want to see 280 to 278 react as a resistance level. As for BBIG, we just saw the first pullback, so it needs to hold above 286. We'll see. So I mean, This next like 10 minutes are going to be really revealing on whether PROG's on whether BBIG is going into the threes or going back to the 250s. I'll be back in 1 minute. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Oh, yeah, gotta love it. All right, guys. Let's see. So, BBIG. We need more time to really see how this reacts. It went a little bit under. Now it's a little bit over. Need more time to really figure out whether this is going back to 254 or if it's going back to the lower threes. So I'll give that one a little more time. Let's see. Let me know what stocks you guys are looking at. SYTA, this has been running massively, not really doing anything with that. Um, yeah, let me know what stocks you guys are looking at. So quick update on PROG. So the bulls are trying to step in here. So see how your support is right here at 278. It cracks. It forms new lower highs at 278, turning previous support into resistance. They're trying to take some control. So they're trying to form some higher support at 272 instead of going to like 269. But they're still failing to go above this 276 level. Not a good sign. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm going to continue to ride that one out. Like I said, once we get 270 crack and that reacts as a resistance level, it's going to get really ugly. BBIG, that's not a good reaction. Not a good reaction right here. Still a little too early to tell, but I'm not seeing a reason to buy this just yet. That's not a good reaction. I'm also going to send alert for the gap fill at 254. But so far, I mean, that's not the best reaction. Let's see. What are my thoughts on ARVL? I mean, this one really lacks the chart history, so it's kind of tough to say. It's just it's something I really wouldn't trade. If it can maintain above $8, it'll go to like 860 for the short term. It's just really something I wouldn't trade. If it were to go to like, 13 or 16, then I would look to short it. But yeah, it's not really something I would trade. AUR is doing well. Okay, so we're back into the 12s. So yeah, if you can maintain above, if we could maintain above 1180, this can run back to 13 plus. Yeah, AUR is looking good. It turned 1180, that key level, into support. Now it's breaking out. So yeah, I think we can go back to $13 on this one. Today's gonna be tough though, but like later into the week, I think we can head back to 13 on this one. It's looking good right now. It should continue. It looks good. So yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on that one too. All right, so BBIG is trading a little sideways at that 284 gap fill level. Now it's pushing back up. So yeah, I'm just gonna give this one some time. It's a little sideways here. Still holding up though. So PRG is testing 280. So to see a really nice shift in reversal, 280 has to become the floor. If they can break out above 280 and turn that into support, that's when you'll really start to see a shift where the bulls can take control. But if they can't do it, then it's headed back to 270s. Like I told you guys, there's so much support at like 270s. It's basically your last key level, your last make it or break it level. If that cracks, then you're looking at like 220s. That'd be like that next key level. But so far they did hold up above 269, and now they're pushing back towards 280s. So the key here is for them to really turn that into support. So we'll see how it reacts. I mean, this is like critical right now. This is like really, really critical actually. Like this is really going to help determine if 270 is going to crack or not. So Neo will head back down to fill the gap. There's a gap to fill at 32.34. That's where it's heading. It needs to maintain above that. If it can maintain above that and turn into support, it'll go back towards $34. If not, cracks, reacts as a resistance level, then it's headed back to like $30 a share. So that would be like the short term price action house on that. Lucid is looking pretty bearish here, guys. Lucid's looking pretty bearish. It filled the gap right here, had a reversal, went back down to fill this gap. Now it's reacting as a resistance level. So Lucid is not looking good for the short term. Lucid is not looking good. It looks like we're going to be heading back to $40 a share. Man, OCGN, man. Let's see. OCGN just got a new high on the day. So we're definitely going to 576 on OCGN, and then we got to see how it reacts at that key level. This definitely has some potential. Let's see. All right, so BBIG now at 290. All right, so guys, if you do end up getting on BBIG, I would set like your risk at like 270s. If you want to risk more, like 254 would be the max. But so far it's holding up. You know, so far it is holding up above that key level. I'm still a little bit on the sidelines, but I mean, so far it is still holding up. All right, so for Jamia, JMIA, I want to see how it reacts at 1364. You have a gap to fill at 1364. It was previous resistance. And when it hit that key level, it happened fairly quickly where this went back to your lower tens. So that can potentially have a reversal at that level. So we'll see how this reacts towards that for a potential, short or for a potential put option. So we'll see. As for PROG, the Bulls are really trying to take some control here. Like I said, like this is critical. Like they need to take control and like they need to do it now for this to really continue for the short term. So we'll see how it reacts. We got some resistance towards 290 to 285, so we'll see. They really need to maintain above 282 for true strength. If not, then like 270 is basically your last level until it free falls. So we'll see. I'm still in my short position on that. BFRI, just avoid this one for now. It's gonna trend lower. Just avoid this one for now. Yeah, for this one, wait until like 263. I wouldn't do anything with it. You could see like this is heavy support, huge upside potential. For the past 2 days, it's been reacting as resistance now, and this is not a good candlestick. So for BFRI, just avoid this one. Wait for the gap to fill. That's where it can potentially have a reversal at 263. I don't see any opportunity to get in on this right now. Yeah, I mean, it looks like Lucid's going back under 40 for the short term. That's where it looks like we're heading. Previous heavy support right here now reacted as resistance. It shot up to fill the gap. As soon as it filled that gap, as soon as it hit that key level right here, that key level, these blue lines, as soon as it touched it, it had a reversal. Then it went back down to fill the gap below. Now it's trying to shoot back up, have another reversal. It's like it's trying to have a double reversal right now. So we'll see. I mean, if it can maintain above this 45, that's really a good sign for a pushback to 47. It's like it's a big battle right now. Let's see, BBIG, double tap on BBIG. Yeah, for this one, it's still a little too early to tell where we're heading. But I mean, the bulls are still above that key level, so that's good. But we do have resistance at 297, so it's kind of just trading sideways in between these key levels here. For Alibaba, we got to see how it reacts at 123.60. For this to continue to run, it needs to hold that key level, but that's where it's heading to 123.60. Let's see for SPY. Yeah, okay, so SPY guys, SPY is gonna fill that gap. So guys, this is the play on SPY. So like listen up because like this is gonna be really important. So I mean, take a look at SPY here. See how it recently had a massive gap up and then it gaps down. So, it gapped up and it bottomed at like 456. It ran all the way to 466. So it had a nice run up for the short term mean. It gaps down, goes back to key support, and then it gaps back up. And then as soon as it fills this gap, it has a reversal. The exact high literally fills the gap. Best opportunity to buy puts to short. And then it goes straight back down to fill this gap right here towards 456 again. And then it goes even lower and drops to 448. So for the short term being, this has had a massive move on the upside. Like this went from 449 to now 467. And guys, look at where we're approaching. We're approaching the highest gap to fill above. This is the highest gap. It's sitting towards all-time highs, 469.44. If history repeats itself and this touches the gap, like it did right here, it touched the gap, and then it has a massive reversal, the put options are going to print. So I'm looking to get some short-term put options on SPY if we see a rejection at 469.44. And with the current momentum, it looks like it's going to be able to fill it today. So we'll see how this reacts. Just remember, it previously had that massive gap up, but as soon as it closed this gap, it had a reversal. So SPY is going to be a top watch. Top two plays right now for me are going to be SPY and a PROG. So for Sava, I mean, I would just avoid this one for now. I'm not really seeing a reason to buy it from a technical view. I would just avoid this one for now. I don't think it's bottomed out just yet. For ARDX, like same thing. I would just avoid this one for now as well. Like the chart is bearish. It's trying to turn this previous support into resistance. It looks like we're headed back to $1.15. All right, so guys, PROG, the bulls are really trying to gain some control right here. Let's see. Yes, I mean, this one's going to be really interesting. If this ends up closing green in the day, it's most likely going to continue to run into tomorrow. So we'll see. It's trading a little bit sideways. But yeah, so far the bulls showed up at that key 270 level. And now they're attempting to really turn that key 285 level into support. So we'll see how this reacts here. All right, so space had a little gap up today. I mean, for space, I think it's a long-term play. I really think long term we're going back to $20 to $40 a share. I think these gaps are going to fill over time. You have a gap to fill here at 20, gap to fill here at like 24, another gap to fill here at 35. I think it's going to be a great long term play. I mean, I would definitely look into like the leap options on this one. Like, let's see. Yeah, I would look into like the leap options at 220 days minimum on that. I'm still on the sidelines. All right, it looks like PROG is going to try to have a little breakout here. We just went above 285. All right, so let's see. Let's see. All right, so the Bulls have really tried to gain back control right here. So we'll see. It's a bit sideways. So for PROG, there's one gap that's waiting to fill above. It's right here. See how there's like some empty space? So right here at $3.99, there's a gap to fill. It does have a history of filling the gaps over time, but in order to fill it, it's really got to turn 285 to $3 into support. But yeah, this is the gap fill right here at 399, and that would be like one of the best prices to short for sure. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. Just right now, like it's at that make it or break it zone. It's gonna have like a one-sided dollar a share move within the next few days. So if it can stay above 285 to 3, it's on track for 4. If it cracks below 285 and then 270 cracks reacts as a resistance, it's on track back to lower twos. So that's just in terms of the price action and key levels, that's what you have to understand. It's trading a bit sideways now. But again, the Bears just stepped in. They tried to really, they attempted to turn 282 into support. But the Bears just stepped in as soon as you hit this resistance at 285. So, I mean, we'll see. I'm definitely leaning more on the short side. I'm still holding my short position from 287. It's not a lot of risk. My risk is at like 3 to 315. My price target is at like $2.30, around 230. That's where I would look to start covering and locking in profits. I mean, as of now, it's doing the exact same thing it previously did. If you guys remember, there was a gap to fill at 297 on this day in the pre-market. It filled the gap and it shot right back up. But then overall, it just continued to crash. And if you look right now, yesterday was the day where it filled that gap at 214. The main difference was though it closed strong instead of closing weak like last time. But you could see, it filled the gap, it shot back up, but then the next day, like it's really trying to have that green to red move, which is again not a good sign for this stock. So like if 270 cracks, I mean it's pretty much like for the short term, it's basically a free fall. It's not going to be good for the short term. It's simply just, it cracks through a key level and then it fills the gap, it shoots back up, and then the next day it's basically over. So I mean, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, this has been one of the greatest stocks to trade. If you've been following my analysis on it, it's been extremely accurate, and this stock has been a money maker. I'm telling you, the play on this one is to just trade it, man. Just day trade, short term swing trades. That's the play on this one. I've been trading it both ways very, very well. Gonna continue to do that. Yeah, this is like, wow, it's back under 280 now. A good sign for a new low of day would be if you can turn this support right here at 278 into resistance like it's attempting to do. That's a good sign that we'll get a new low of day. And then after that, I mean, it's basically over. Like, I'm telling you, 270 is your free fall level. Just look at how it performed previously at 270. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much your free fall level. Right here at 270s, once it reacted as resistance, it was just a free fall to 230 to 220s. So, I mean, if that can't hold up, guys, I'm telling you, like, 230s to 220s is where we're heading. And then over time, it'll go even lower. There's still a gap to fill right here at $1.08. Once this goes to $1.08, that's when I'll buy in like really heavy again. $1.08. Every single time this stock fills the gap, it has a reversal. Like, it's truly incredible what you can do trading this one. So yeah, I mean, once this goes to $1.08, that's like the next gap fill level. That's when like I'll buy in really heavy on this one. But man, guys, I mean, just looking at the candles, I mean, this is what we're seeing right now. It hits a key support level, closes strong. The next day it gaps up, goes from green to red, and then just a downhill slope. Like, if we're looking at the two candlesticks, yesterday it hit the key level, it bounced off support. Now it's going green to red on the day. Like, if we were to compare the chart, this looks really bearish. Like, this does not look good at all. All right, so guys, let me know any stocks you're looking at. See if there's any other plays. But yeah, right now I'm in heavy on the short for PROG. Let's see. So BBIG is sideways. I'm gonna stay away from this for now. It hasn't seemed to made up its mind. Okay, so DWAC. DWAC, I would just avoid this one. I don't see any play in this one. I would just avoid this one. Um, all right, guys. OCGN, man, the Bulls have really taken control. OCGN. So OCGN has just filled the gap. There's a gap to fill at 576. It almost filled it. So we'll see how it reacts at 576, man. If this can close strong, it's going to be a potential swing. So I'm definitely keeping OCGN on my radar. This has some potential. As of now, it's been showing great signs of strength ever since it filled that gap right here at 525. And if you look at its chart, man, like, it quickly bottoms out that level and then it likes to shoot back up, Plus, there's a gap to fill at, 1273. So the sky's the limit. There's not too much risk involved. Like, the stop would be towards 5 to 525, and then you have huge upside potential. Very strong support channel here. So I mean, that's been good ever since it closed the gap. So can so yeah, it filled the gap. You have a very nice bullish trend reversal candlestick, and then it gapped up from there. For this to continue to run, you need to see this key level. You need to see like 640. 640 needs to hold and turn into support. If that can happen, then your next level is a breakout above like 670s, and then it could really start to run a little bit. So that's what you would need to see happen for that one. If 540, if 640 cracks, then it goes back to 591 to fill the gap below. All right, so all right, so guys, PROG. So man, the Bears have really stepped back in here. So again, this is just not good sign. Like yikes! Like I think we're going to like 230s within the next 2 days. It just needs to crack 270 for that to really start to happen. BBIG is still holding up. So it formed some higher support here at 286. Now trying to push up for a new high of day. All right, so it looks like, yeah, looks like BBIG is going to be able to hit the threes. So as BBIG looks good, I think that's enough confirmation. So yeah, I think we'll head back to around 315, 320 on BBIG. Then if this can continue to maintain above 290 to 3, it'll be on track to go to 4. So yeah, BBIG looks good here. Finally got some nice confirmation on that. Um but yeah, guys, we got confirmation on BBIG. So I think we're heading to like 315 to 320. BBIG looks good. Ooh, really nice volume spike here. Just got new volume on the day. All right, I'm gonna focus on BBIG here. It's getting a little interesting. We just had a new high, get some a strong volume spike. I'm gonna keep looking at the level 2 on this one. So yeah, BBIG is starting to climb the ranks here on the biggest gainers. Um, SPY puts. So yeah, for SPY, don't go too far out of the money. Stay close to in the money. Like I said, we got to see how this reacts at 469.44. You see rejection at that level, that'd be the time to grab the puts. So it should fill today. If not, then tomorrow, hopefully. All right, so guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you're subscribed. I'm gonna be releasing like 2 videos today. We're gonna be doing an in-depth analysis on PROG and SPY, so keep an eye out for that. Man, guys, BBIG is really looking strong here. All right, so I'm gonna go long on BBIG. All right, so I'm currently long on BBIG. So we'll see. As of now, it is going to be a swing trade. All right, so guys, I'm long at $3.02 on BBIG. I had to step in on this once we saw that, our key level has held up at the 285, and then also your previous high right here at 297 has turned into a support level, and just the volume, seeing this strength, when you see that strong volume come in for the new high of day, this looks like it's really going to continue to run, and it's extremely oversold. It's the gap fill play to 4, and it's been climbing the ranks on the top gainers. So things are looking really good here for BBIG as of now. As for OCGN, we just filled the gap, guys. OCGN is going to be another play, man. People are going to start catching on to this one. So this is going to be another stock where I'm interested to go long on. So the two longs I'm seeing right now are OCGN and BBIG. If we can continue to hold above 576, I'm going to be buying OCGN. These are all like potential swings. So we'll see how it reacts. As of now, it's breaking out. But yeah, just put it if 579 576 holds, we're going to be going to 630. That's our next level. I really like OCGN. The volume is still holding up strong too. All right, so the top watches are PROG, OCGN, and BBIG. All right, triple Q. So triple Q, we're approaching that key whole round number at $400. Um, I'm not really interested in this one. I'm really interested in SPY. That's the one I'm interested in. I want to see how SPY reacts when we fill that gap, that gap fill right here at 469.44. That's going to be the potential put for the short on SPY. It wasn't too long ago where we went from 464, close the gap right here, and then it just gets crushed. So we'll see. So for BBIG, for this to continue to run for the rest of the day, for true strength, we need to stay above $3 a share. If not, then 286, but ideally like 296. So we'll see. As of now, though, we have strong volume coming in. So as long as we can hold above those 290s to 3, it should be good to go. I'm currently in at $3.02. I will say though, and it speaks for my position sizing too, like in terms of like confidence, I think PROG is going to be the better play in terms of like chances of winning. Like I think I'm much better off with PROG. So I'm sized in triple. Like I'm sized in, 3 times heavier on PROG than on BBIG. BBIG, it's just like anything can really happen here for the short term. I think long term though, like this has some serious potential for those who are in it for like the long haul. But yeah, short term, like we're still at that key critical level. It's still a little bit too early to tell. Plus, it's up 18% on the day, and you gotta be aware of this level. This went from 315 to 265 in one day, so you gotta be aware of that level. But yeah, I mean, I think the easy money is in PROG. That's where I think the easy money is. BBIG is definitely going to be a challenge for the short term, at least. All right, let's see. AQST. Yeah, it's really just not my type of chart, so I wouldn't play it. To another play I'm looking at is NVAX. This thing always rips back up. If this can get to like $135, I would definitely be interested in buying some calls and just riding this back up to like 160, 170. So it'll get down there within time. So we'll see how that reacts. That'll be another good one when NVAX get back to 135. I mean, the stock always has reversals and loves to shoot back up and fill those gaps. So that would be a good one. And it spikes quickly too, so you could do really well on the calls. Telling you guys, mRNA, man, we cannot miss this one. mRNA, I'm looking to buy calls when we get around $242. That would be like the best level, 242. So I'm looking forward to that. That is huge upside potential for the gap fills. Stock's not going anywhere. It always recovers. It tends to fill the gaps over time, pushing for new all-time highs. And for the short term, it's had such a big pullback from nearly 400 to 250s. Like, this is gonna rip. Just got to be patient on that. Like, when I buy calls, I'll probably go like 90 days expiration. That should be more than enough time. All right, so a lot of you guys are talking about Ader. So up 13% on the day. So yeah, like I had mentioned, for the bulls to step back in control, we need to see your key support right here, which previously acted as resistance for 3 days in a row. Your key support is going to be at like $5 a share. If that could turn into support, it's going to start to spike to 550 to $6 in between that range. So as of now, it did turn it into support. It's just I think there's better plays. It's like it's not in correlation with the strategies that I use basically. So like for that reason, I would kind of avoid it. for me at least. But yeah, if this can stay above fives, it'll be on track for 550 to $6. But the Bulls have shown some strength. They're really trying to gain back control here for the short term since we've seen that breakout at five. Yo, Will, much respect. Can you try to go live every day? So yeah, I'm actually gonna be trading live officially starting tomorrow morning every single day. So for those of you who are interested in, that and many other, you know, like great benefits, just be on the lookout for Trader Society. It's gonna officially launch tonight, and then the daily routine starts tomorrow. Where like you get the watch list, you get the daily live trading session, the chat room, the education suite, video lessons. So that's gonna officially launch tonight. So stay tuned for that. It's lifetime access at a one-time fee. So just be on the lookout for the announcement. It's gonna be in a video posted later in the evening tonight, and then it officially starts, tomorrow. So you get lifetime access, instant access to that. All right, so BBIG is still above threes. So man, things are looking good. This is wow. So that's true strength, guys. That is true strength. This is gonna have another new high of day. BBIG, this is true strength because look at where it bottomed at. It bottomed at your previous resistance right here at threes. It didn't even go back to the 290s. Very healthy pullback. That means it was a very healthy pullback where it just had a small pullback for a new high of day and then it turns previous resistance into support. There's no signs in a break of trend yet for BBIG. So it's on track for a new high of day. This looks phenomenal. So the play right now is BBIG long and a PROG short. So man, this is great. And then boom, there's the new high of day. That's what you want to see, guys. That's how you know it's true strength. Your high of day is at 297. It breaks out. It goes to 308. Has a pullback, completely fine. Forms higher support right around here. And then boom, there's the new high of day. True signs of strength. And the volume is still strong. And like I said, it's climbing the ranks on your top gainers. And the stock is extremely oversold. And there's that gap fill play to $4 a share. So the Bulls have really stepped in today. They've really shown true signs of strength. So far so good on that. My max risk personally on this is going to be at like 275, around 270s. If you want to play it safe, then like 280. But that's going to be my max risk around there. As of now, though, we are more likely to fill the gap at four than going back to 250. So there's a gap to fill at 254, and there's a gap to fill above at 391. If it continues to maintain above $3, we are more likely to fill the gap at four for the short term than to go back to 250 and fill that gap. So just understand that as of now that we're seeing true signs of strength. Now look, this is key for the Bulls to fucking kill it today, for them to really take control. 315. It wasn't too long ago where the stock topped out at 315 and it quickly dropped all the way to 238. So 315, that's going to be the key level, man. If 315 can break out, turns to support, it's going to fucking fly to four. So just keep that in mind. That's like your key level, man. If it could turn this previous support right here around 305, resistance 315 into support and breakout, that's when this is really going to take over to fill the gap at four. So I'm looking forward to this one. We'll see. So far, it's been strong. Right, so as for PROG, it's just chilling at these lower highs, not doing much. I think tomorrow is going to be the really revealing day. But I mean, as of now, still like it's looking pretty bearish. Yeah, this looks like it's gonna slip off. This will definitely get a new low today. This will get a new low today. Um, all right, so PROG is picking up here. It's starting to slip. Let's see. Yeah, so this will get a new low of day. I'm telling you guys, once 270 cracks, man, this is going to like 230 within 2 days. So things are looking up for this position. I'm currently up 5% on the day on PROG, and I'm up almost 1% on BBIG. Like I said, my full confidence heavy position is in PROG. It's not in BBIG, it's in PROG. How much am I risking in each trade? I mean, typically like my max risk will be around 3% of my portfolio. I try to keep that towards like my max risk 3%. And then the goal would be to make like 7 to 10%. I really try to make triple what I risk, but sometimes it's just not realistic. Sometimes you have to get out a little bit earlier. But yeah, I mean, as you guys can tell, like I really don't trade a lot. Like it's really only a couple trades per week. I'm trying to get it down to like 10 trades per month, like 20 max, but I really want to focus on like 10 phenomenal trades a month. Eight's a good number too, two trades a week. Like if you've seen how I've been trading PROG, I just wait for these key levels. Once I see the reaction, I get in like exactly I did today. Like I'm not a big fan of shorting this stock at where I did at 287 because I was previously short at 487 and I covered at 308. So I'm basically reshorting the stock where I'd previously covered. I'm not a big fan of shorting at these key breakdown levels, these key oversold levels. It's just that, due to the reaction and due to its price action, we're talking like 287 to 230s and my risk is like 315. So it's a decent short. It's just not the greatest short because it's more on the oversold side. It's more on the key breakdown side. Like the best price to short this stock is at 399. That's where I would love to reshort at 399. It just looks like it's not going to be heading back there anytime soon though, unless three can break out and turn to support. So I decided to take the trade just to understand though it's like it's not 100% the best thing to do. I really prefer to short at like major resistance levels. But we did see the key level react as a resistance, so I think it'd be a good short. All right, so BBIG, we're back at 302. So we really need to stay above three. That's key, man. We need to stay above three. Like I said, this one, it's gonna be tough. It's not gonna be easy. But if we could stay above three, it should be fine. I personally find it a lot easier to go short than to go long, in my experience. So Lucid, let's see. Last time I checked, it filled the gap. All right, so Lucid, yeah, this is bearish, guys. So the stock gapped up. It closed the gap at 47.27, had a reversal at the exact top, went back down to fill the gap below at 44.86. Now it's turned into resistance. So for the short term being, Lucid is headed back to $40 a share. That's where it's heading. It's heading back to $40 a share. The micro price action is bearish. It's not a good reaction when it fills that gap and then turns it into resistance level. So Lucid for the short term is bearish. It's going to be heading back to 40. And I really want SPY to fill this gap, man. I mean, we're getting there. It's at 469.44. We're getting there. It has like a really good chance of seeing a reversal too. Like it's just so overbought for the short term being. Like it's just due for some sort of pullback. And if it's gonna have a pullback, it should be at 469.44. Like within the past 2.5 days, it ripped from 448 to 469 almost. Like it's due for some sort of pullback. So we'll see. It's going to be very interesting to see how we react once it fills this gap. So like if this has a positive reaction, starts breaking out, I'm not going to go long. I'm just going to let it do its thing. And then if it can go below and crack 469.44 and turn into resistance, then I'm going to grab the puts, ride this back down to 459 to fill this gap. So that's the play. So like see how, SPY gaps down, rips back up, fills this gap, exact top, gets crushed. So the plan is, once this fills this gap, look for the bearish reaction. If I see it, buy the puts and then ride this back down to fill the gap at 459. If we don't see the negative reaction, then I'm going to sit on the sidelines and then wait for it to go back under 469.44. That'll be a key breakdown level then. Then I'll look to buy the puts then. So we got to see how this reacts. Just know though, I'm not risking a lot. Like this is, it's a key critical level. I'm not going to be risking a lot. Like my max pain will be at like 471, like absolute most. Because if it can turn this into solid support at 469, it's going to try to push for new all-time high. Yeah, so BBIG is sideways back at 3. Like I said, man, it's not going to be an easy play, that's for sure. But we're still holding above 3. All right, so that's good. We're still above 3. So MRK, so Mark. So this one's been slipping. Let's see. So we need to maintain above 72. If we can maintain above 72 for the short term, it's going to fill the gap at 73.42. That's our next key level. So I mean, this should hold up. We should see a bounce back to at least 73.42 on this one. But yeah, 72 is that key level where we need to maintain above. It needs to close above 72 to keep running. So dunking. So let's see how this reacted towards, $32 was a key level. So it's trying to break that down. So yeah, I mean, it looks like Duncan's heading back to 30.68. If it can maintain above that, then it goes back to 33. If it cracks 30.68, then it goes back to like $28 a share. So I mean, that's where I think we're heading. I think we're in at 30.68. Then you're gonna see how it reacts. If it holds up, back to 33. If it breaks down, then back to 28. That's my thoughts on Duncan. Up 7% on HIMX. Do you have any price target? All right, so for HIMX, okay, so the most I would risk on this one. So let's take a look at our daily chart here. So the most I would risk would be like 1060. 1060 would be my max risk on HIMX. 1060. If that cracks, it's gonna pull back to 10. Okay, so if 1060 cracks, it's gonna fill the gap. There's a gap to fill at 1017. If it bombs at that level, starts to have reversal, then it shoots back up towards 11. As of now, so it's still pushing for new highs. $11 is going to be a key whole round number. In terms of where your resistance is on the chart, yeah, okay. So, I mean, just take a look. You have huge downside potential right here at 1108. So if this cannot break out above 11 today and turn that into support, it's basically going to be on track to go to 1060. And then if that cracks, then like 1017. So I mean, I would look to potentially lock in some gains right now. And then in terms of your zone is basically, if you choose to continue to hold, your zone is like 11 from 1060. If 11 breaks out, turns it into support, then it pushes towards the upper 11s. If 1060 breaks down, reacts as a resistance, then it fills the gap at 1017. So that's what I would look for on that one. For it to continue to run though, it needs to really close above for true strength. It needs to close above this. It needs to close above 1073. That's like your ideal true strength number. So that's what I would look for on that one. So MetaX, I mean, this is horrific. Avoid this one at all costs. Consistently, it's so diluted. Consistently reaching all-time lows. There's so many better charts you can buy into. Like, who would want to buy into this? Where every once in a while you get a quick little spike, but it's like it rarely happens. This is like horrific. Do not buy into charts like these. Let's see what OCGN has been doing. Ooh, we're still above 580 on OCGN. Yeah, OCGN is on. This is going to be on my swing trade radar. Keep a close eye on this one. So we're pulling back right now. So I want to see this bounce off of 576. I want to see some strength come in. If that can happen, I'm going to be interested in buying for a swing. PROG trying to break down here. Let's see. Yeah, there's no way this holds up, man. This thing is done. It's doing the same exact thing, guys. Like, I think PRG is going to be at 230 within a couple days. It's having that you had that massive spike once it filled the gap. You had that massive spike once it filled the gap. Then the next day, it has a little gap up. It tries to, and then it just fades hard. This little gap up fades hard. Like, I really think this is done, but it needs to crack 270 first. Just looking at the price action though, like it does not look good. So far, so I gotta make a video on PROG today, and then I'll probably do like one or two more videos as well. Keeping a close eye on BBIG, OCGN, that'll be a potential video. I'm really starting to like this one. So BBIG, we really need to hold 297. That's key for this one, 297. I'm not risking much on this one at all. Like, my mental stop will be at towards like 280. I'm not gonna get stuck holding this one. Like, if $3 fails, it'll do the same thing PROG did. It ripped back to like 254. Um yes, there is a gap at $1.07. Like, just if this can't break above 3, it's going to low twos. And then if low twos cracks, turns into resistance, it's heading straight to 108. But yeah, I mean, definitely long term, like definitely this will fill the gap at 108 without a doubt. Like, it'll fill the gap at 108, and then that's where I'm going to be buying heavy at 108. I keep doing the same thing. Like, when it fills the gap, I buy the stock. It always pops when it fills these gaps. Yeah, I mean, PROG has definitely been one of the most predictable stocks with my strategy. I'm just trying to find more stocks that correlate so well with it. But yeah, that's why I've just been laser focused on this one. There's been so much trading opportunity within it, so I've just been sizing in decently on it, using tight stops, and I haven't been stopped out yet on this one. So I'm telling you, you just need to, you can make money very, very well with just one strategy on one stock. People do it all the time with options as well. But that one stock for me has been PROG, especially like this year, the past month. Nvidia. Wow, Nvidia had a nice gap close reversal. Gap to fill here at 292, bullish confirmation. Then it rips back up to fill this gap at 306, which is now support. The video is a nice gap close reversal. I wouldn't do anything with it right now though. I'll set a price alert for at or below 300. It's a key number. See how it reacts at 300. Okay, so BBIG still above 3. So I mean, let's see how it reacted last time when it was at this level. Yeah, I mean, if this starts going under 295, it's not going to be too attractive to really continue to hold. So we'll see. I mean, just study how it previously reacted. So it had a little breakout. It went to 315. Then it quickly went back to like $3. Once it started to crack 3, it was like nothing but downhill. So for things to act differently, we need to stay above like 296. That's that ideal number. See how it quickly drops. It goes from 297 all the way to like 281. It's like a little pullback there. Like this needs to stay above 297 for this to show signs of like a true reversal of true strength. If it can't hold up above that, man, it's just most likely going to be a cut. You can see how it reacts at 254 from there. So I've noticed with these meme stocks, it's really best to just buy them at their dips and not at their breakouts. Breakouts are very tough on these stocks. Like if you were to buy the breakouts on PROG anytime recently, just it wouldn't have worked out well. Like for the past since November 16th, PROG has been something where if you short into the pops, you cannot go wrong. But if you buy into those spikes, that's where you can go wrong on this one. Okay, yeah, I gotta make so the videos today, SPY and PROG, those are a must. Those are gonna be a must. That's where the money's gonna be at. It's gonna be in SPY and PROG so far. Man, OCGN is still holding up. Okay, let's see. Am I about to go long on this? Let's see. Yeah, guys, OCGN is getting tempting, man. This is something where I kind of just want to buy it, hold it out for a bit, set a stop towards the lower fives. I'm really starting to like OCGN. Ever since it's filled that gap, it's been showing true signs of strength. This is looking really good. OCGN is my top watch right now for a potential swing. So SYTA is short. So for this one, I'm on the sidelines right now. It's not really known for being that like multi-day runner. Do have to be careful though. In terms of key levels, like you have key resistance right here at 540, key resistance right here at 560. If that reacts as support, this could be very explosive. That's where you have to be careful with shorting the stock. Like you can see, it's already very explosive ever since it turned those key resistance levels into support. So looking at on this day here, you had key resistance at 688, had a massive pullback at 688, went all the way down to 390. So we'll see how it reacts towards like 7 a share. See some resistance there. Then look to short with like a tight stop. If we get stopped out, then I would wait until like I would wait until like the 9s on this one. But it's definitely on my radar. It's just something you got to be really, really careful with this one. As of now, no signs of bears taking control. All I'm seeing is true strength on this one. So I would hold off on this one for now. But it's definitely on the back burner. I don't think it's going to be an easy short though. I think this one's going to be really tough. You got to be very careful with this one. So for PPSI, Your best case scenario for the short term is it fills the gap at like 10-11. It needs to maintain above $7 to 7.40. If it can do that, then it's gonna try to hit your low eights. I personally want to do anything with it right now. For me, like we went over this in the watch list yesterday, I'd be interested in looking to go short when it fills this gap at 10-11. I don't like trading these like in between the middle like that. But it really needs to, for it to run, it needs to stay above the sevens. If it cracks sevens, then it's going back to like your 6 to 550s. DWC is it's just not a play. DWC is just nothing. Like it's dry, it's dead. Just avoid this one. So AE, what was that symbol? AEI. So for this one, if we can get a breakout with strong volume at 65 cents, it could be a good scalp to ride this back up to like 75, 80 cents. So look to see how it reacts at 65 cents. You need to see strong volume though. Until then, I wouldn't do anything with this. For the most part, the chart's horrific. It's consistently pushing for new all-time lows. For the most part, I would just avoid it till then. So apps. This one really doesn't correlate with my strategy yet. It's most likely going to pull back. I would wait towards like 50 to see how it reacts towards there. From a long-term point of view, it should recover. Like long-term, this can definitely go back to 90. That would be an area to short and get puts. But yeah, I mean, long-term, it should do well. For the bulls to remain in control, it needs to break out and turn 58 into support. As of now, it's topping out at this resistance, which is bearish. You know, that's a sign that it's going to go back down to fill the gap below at $50 a share. All right, so BBIG, we're still above 3. PROG is still trading mid 2.7. And man, just need to stay above 296. That's key for BBIG. So yeah, guys, once SPY fills that gap, man, we'll see. It should be, yeah, it should happen today. 469.44. BLNK, it's heading back to 32.44 to fill the gap. It needs to hold above that. If not, then it goes to 30. If it can maintain about 32.44, it goes back to 34. I don't like the daily chart at all in this. Just not something I would really trade. Yeah, $1.08, man. When PROG it's $1.08, buy into that, ride it back up to like 175. That'll be a good play, man. That's something where I look to go heavy on. And it's the most oversold gap close reversal level. It's the lowest gap to fill. Like that should be phenomenal, man. Every time this thing always spikes when it fills those gaps. And the more oversold, the better. So $1.08, that's gonna be that play on that one. If you look, man, there's been a major reversal. There's been a major shift in trend. Like you can see for the most part, it's been consistently forming like new highs, breaks out new highs, turns previous resistance into support, breaks out new highs, turns previous resistance into support, breaks out new highs, turns previous resistance into support, breaks out new highs, previous resistance here into support. But there's been a major shift, you know, like right around here, it started to turn previous support into resistance, previous support into resistance. Like there's been a major shift in the trend, and then you have this gap to fill at $1.08. So I mean, things are just not looking good for the short term at the moment. BYSI. So yeah, so for this one, look for the breakout at 634. That would be that gap breakout strategy. So I won't do anything with it until it goes above 634. If you see signs of strength with nice volume coming in, look to buy the breakout and ride it up into the sevens. All right, so guys, I'm getting ready to take a quick lunch break. I'll be back in like 30 minutes. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the stream. I'm gonna leave it up so you guys can talk in the chat. I'll be looking at the chat too while I'm on break. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna keep two charts up while I'm gone here. We'll keep PROG and BBIG. We'll keep these up on the charts. So for BBIG, this needs to stay above 297. We just saw Wick come in here. So the buyers did show up, but we need to really hold that 297. Otherwise, I'm going to look to cut losses at around 280. So we'll see. As for PROG, the bears are still in control. I think we're going to be able to get a new low of day later into the day here. You know, it's still maintaining lower highs, still below that key level. It just needs to crack 270 and turn into resistance. Once that happens, that's when we're going to see the bears really step in and gain control. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. BBIG, it's been tough. All right, so guys, I'll be back. It's 11:15. I'll be back at like 11:40 around there. So just to show you a quick update, on the portfolio. All right, so as you could see, I'm currently short on PROG at 287. That's where I'm triple sized in compared to BBIG. And then I have a much lighter position on BBIG at 302. Max risk on that is sitting at like 280s. Like I said, my full confidence play is going to be on PROG. That's where my full confidence is. That's why I'm such triple on that one. Um, so for BBIG, we need to stay above 297. If not, then history is simply repeating itself, where it has a short term spike back into the threes and then it heads back down to fill the gap. There's a gap to fill at $2.54. And then there's a gap to fill at $4 a share. So for it to go to 4, it needs to stay above 3. If not, history is going to repeat itself and this will quickly start to crash. I mean, just right now it's starting to have that very similar reaction it had as last time, where it had a little breakout, didn't hold up for that long, and then once it cracked 295, things got ugly very quickly and it went to 250s. Also, guys, I mean, SPY, like, wow, okay, so yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like, it looks like history's repeating itself. It really doesn't make sense to really go long right now because, like, all of these stocks crashed when SPY shot back up to 464 and filled this gap. That's when all these stocks crashed, when it filled the gap and had its reversal. And it wasn't too long ago, SPY was at 449 and it recently had a big move for the short term. So it's due for some sort of pullback, right? And there's a gap to fill right here at 469. And BBIG and PROG had recently followed the SPY when it was crashing. So it just doesn't make sense for me to really be long on like BBIG for the moment due to that reason. So I'm probably going to stop out here on this fairly shortly. I'll see. As for OCGN's on the back burner. It needs to stay above 576. But yeah, I'm gonna be pretty cautious buying stocks right now. I think the market's gonna favor shorts for the short term. And then there's the new low of day on PROG. So at some point this is gonna bounce, and then for this to free fall and for the bears to fucking murder this stock, like 272. If 272 reacts as a resistance, like this is over. Like as of now, history's repeating itself. Like you guys remember, BBIG had the free fall, PROG had the free fall. Like, I mean, this is what we're looking at can potentially happen fairly quickly. Not saying it's going to happen today, but within the next 1 to 2 days, this can very realistically happen where PROG goes back to 230 if it can turn 270 into resistance, and then BBIG goes back to 250 if it can turn like 296 into resistance. So the most downside risk on BBIG is like your low 280s, but as of now, things are just not looking good. It's just, I think a big problem is going to be SPY. The big issue is, these stocks following SPY. It seems like it's not ideal to be buying into the breakouts for the short term being, and SPY is due for some sort of short term reversal. I think SPY will go back to like 458 if we see some signs of negativity at this level. So so yeah, I mean that's my thoughts. I'll leave we'll leave PROG and BBIG. We'll leave these up on the charts here. But yeah, the next big play is going to be SPY puts. That's going to be the next big play. As of now, my biggest play is going to be PROG. All right, so I'm going to draw the key level right here. If this reacts as a resistance, it's basically over. I'll draw it right here at 272. And then put BBIG here. So like this is basically max risk on BBIG. As of now, bears have really stepped in. I guess I'll be back in like 20, 30 minutes. All right, so we are currently back. Let's see. So far we've gotten confirmation. If you look, PROG has topped out at that exact key level that we were discussing. So we're currently on track to go back to 230 within the next like 1 to 2 days on this. I'm gonna continue to ride out that short. The Bears are still in control. Um, as for BBIG, it does look like I'm going to have to cut losses here. In terms of going long, I'm going to keep a close eye on OCGN. But yeah, it looks like BBIG is going to be tough, guys. I just got to focus on buying the dips, for these. I keep getting caught on those breakouts, but I'm cutting losses quickly, so that's good. Spy puts at the moment. Yeah, we'll go over that here in a second. All right, so guys, I'm gonna cut BBIG here. I'm gonna cut my losses quickly on this. All right, so I'm out on BBIG. So I was in at 302, and then I cut it at 288. So small loss on that one. I mean, the risk was definitely worth taking. So like the main reason why I decided to play it safe and get out on this one, it looks like history is repeating itself, right? I mean, that's what it looks like, in terms of what is happening on PROG and BBIG. And then the market, it's way too high right now. That's like another main reason. So basically what I'm looking at here on SPY is, we have this gap to fill right here. Let's see. So you can see SPY gaps up from 457. It rips to 465. It gaps down, goes back to key 457. It even drops a little bit. Next day it gaps up. As soon as it fills that gap, it has a reversal. And this is when every stock following SPY got absolutely murdered. And, it went all the way down to 449. So if we're looking at this chart, it's been beaten down more and it's had this massive spike for the short term being. So, I mean, it looks like SPY is due for some sort of pullback, some sort of, pullback to fill this gap at 459. So, like, what I'm thinking is, this tops out towards this gap fill level here at 469.44, and then it starts to go back down to fill this gap below. So that's what I'm thinking on SPY. And if that happens, BBIG is going to get wrecked, and then PROG will continue to get wrecked because these tend to follow when the market's going down. So as for BBIG, in terms of cutting the losses, it seems like it's doing the same exact thing that it's doing last time. So we shot up to 313, and then once it starts to crack the previous closing price, it really starts to turn over, especially when it failed to hold up at 3. And then it just quickly went to 250. So for BBIG, I mean, it just topped out at previous resistance, and there's a gap to fill below at 254. So due to those reasons, I'm playing it safe. And I'm mainly interested in, like I said, shorting because the market is just so high right now. We're at that gap fill reversal level. So for this one, like I got my price lower at 255. I just think we're better off playing it safe, buying the dips. So I cut my losses very quickly. So in terms of let's see. Okay, so PROG is at 268. So in terms of an update on positions, so BBIG, I'm completely out, minus 1K, and then PROG, I'm still in, currently up 7% on that. So that's the update on the portfolio. 4 hours until the market closes. And yeah, so we'll see. I'd like to cover PROG towards like 230s. I mean, yeah, I think over time BBIG will go to 4. It's just it has to turn 3 into the floor for it to do that. As of now, it's reacting as resistance, and I don't want to hold through another pullback to 250 considering I just got in. I'd rather just cut it small and then look to get back in at a lower cost. That's how I like to trade these. It really doesn't make sense to just go long on these stocks at their breakout levels right now with SPY being so high. It doesn't make much sense. Like SPY's most likely going back to 458, so why buy now? That's like the main reasoning. Also the negative reaction it's having right now. All right, so let me know what stocks you guys are looking at. Um Let me know if you guys are in any day trades, in any swing trades, let me know. I'm mainly just, watching SPY, OCGN, BVIG, and then PROG. That's my top play. Not really seeing anything else for the moment worth taking. So why short PROG instead of getting put options? I mean, sometimes I'll do both. It just depends. For small cap stocks, I really do not like trading options. They tend to be not as liquid. Even if it goes in your favor, it can still be very tough to make money on these. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think you could do well with like a 2.5 strike for the short term. There's some volume on those. I don't want to have like the vast majority of the volume on an option contract. The spread is like a little wide too. It's not like a super thin spread for 2.5. 3 is a lot better spread. It's just for small cap stocks, I really don't like trading options. It's like they're extremely hard to scalp. Man, I think I'm getting ready to get it on OCGN. I'm gonna keep a close eye on it. In terms of going long, I think OCGN might be our best chance. Mm. Yeah, those would definitely be the best brokers if you're trying to, short sell stocks that are hard to borrow. Those would be the best brokers to go with. You have to find one that, specializes in having a good inventory where you can locate the shares to short, pay the hard to borrow fee in exchange for that. Those would definitely be the best brokers. If you have like a small account, then I would look into like Trade Zero. So AMC, yeah, let's see what that was doing. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, the Bulls, AMC, the Bulls are trying to really gain back some control. So if you guys watched my previous content, we talked about the gap fill play where you can buy the dip at 26.12, and then it bottomed out very, very nicely at that level. And then there's also a key support level, a previous gap fill level right here at 32. And then you have strong support at $30 a share. For the past 3 days, that was attempting to turn into resistance, but the Bulls are starting to show some strength. So for this to truly continue to run, when it could really start to run, is when it breaks out above 32 and turns that into the floor. So 32 would be like the key level. If it fails to break out at 32, it's headed back to fill this gap at $29 a share. So yeah, I'd look to see how it reacts towards that zone. Let's see. Just got in on OCGN. Yeah, I mean, it looks great. I mean, it looks like we're definitely going to see a new high. You got some higher support forming towards previous highs here. I mean, it looks great. The daily chart, I really like the daily chart on this. I'm most likely going to be getting in on this today as well. No, there's no filter on this. It's like not even a camera. It's like a webcam. I think it's just like it's pretty foggy outside. It's like cold and like the sun is pretty dim. But yeah, I have like it's like a massive window next to me, so like a lot of light comes in, and it's just like the way like the weather, like the climate is right now that makes it look like that. Let's see. So yeah, guys, let me know if you see anything else. My main watch is like I said, the SPY to potentially get puts. I'm in on PROG. BBIG is currently on the back burner, and then OCGN. I'm watching closely for a potential long. OCGN, I might have to wait till tomorrow. I'm watching this one for now. Um, yeah, I mean those would be the main ones I'm looking at right now. Let's see, GameStop has earnings coming out this week. Let's see. Hmm. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do anything with this one. So earnings are tomorrow on that one. Keep an eye on Zoom as well. Zoom can continue to run. Yeah, I'm starting to like Zoom too. Zoom looks good. Okay, OCGN. See, I'm just gonna take a starting position on this. If it pulls back, I'll look to add tomorrow most likely. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna take some long here. Nothing too crazy, but I'm gonna go long on OCGN. This is more of like a swing trade where I'm really trying to hold this out. All right, so yeah, I just got filled on OCGN. It's just the starting position for now. But yeah, I mean, I think for the short term, we'll be able to get to like 675 at least. Like heading into tomorrow, we'll see. All right, so to give you an update on OCGN, we got the new high of day as it turned previous resistance right here into support. Taking a look at the chart, we have the gap fill level right here at 525. So yeah, at 5, okay, wait, hold up. Okay, so you actually have two gap fill levels. You have a gap fill right here at 525, and you could see it bottomed out at 525, and then it just blasted off. And as soon as it filled this gap, it had a reversal. So see, that's why you have to pay attention to oversold gap fill levels right here, and then overbought gap fill levels right here. So basically buy there and then short there. Um, and then you could see, let's see, was there another gap right here? No, so yeah, it was just 525. That was the level. Oh, no, it was right here, right here. This is the second one. There was a gap to fill right here at 552. So gap fill 525, that one already filled. And then recently, so there's this gap here at 552. Recently it filled, and as of now, it bottomed out at 525, that first gap fill level. And today's the day where it really started to break out and the volume is starting to come in. So I mean, it looks like we're going to be on track to see a volume breakout as well, which should help. We should be able to get above 13 million on the volume today. Right now, we're at 9 million. We should be able to get towards like 13 million. So what we really need to see happen is we need to see like want it to close above $6 minimum. It would be nice if we can get a run to like 640. That would be nice for today. So we'll see. But yeah, if this can close above 630, that'd be really strong heading into tomorrow. The max risk on that is going to be like 525. I think that could be a really good like midterm swing though. But yeah, for SPY, man, I'm just waiting for it to rip back up to fill that gap. Sometimes they'll partially fill the gap and have their reversals. Um, but I mean, I think we'll be able to do it. We should be able to fill that gap. So for Zoom, I mean, it's showing signs of strength that it's bottomed out here for the short term. So there was a gap fill right here at 179.48. It recently bottomed 2 days in a row at that level. Had a nice candle yesterday. You have really nice support here at 180, and now it's filling the gap at 191.75. So if this can break out, turn 191.75 into support, it can really start to run back to like 210 for the short term. And it's just so oversold. Like it looks like it really wants to start, spiking. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be looking for, that one to break out above 191.75. But it should be able to get to their minimum. So if you wanted to get in now, today it had its gap up, it closed the gap, bottomed exactly at this blue level, and then it started ripping back up. So I think it'll get to 191.50, like the bare minimum. And then we need to see a bullish reaction towards that level. Let's see. All right, so BBIG, I mean, it's still holding up. If this can close above the 285 to 290 level, I mean, they're going to try to run this back into the mid threes tomorrow. So we'll see. I'm currently on the sidelines. It's just the main reason is because of SPY. That's mainly why I'm on the sidelines right now. All right, so yeah, guys. I mean, mainly, and this really has a lot of impact to do with my trades. Like, I'm really just, I'm really just waiting for SPY to fill the gap. It should fill it today, and then I'll see how it reacts, and then that's really going to decide on what it is that I do moving forward. Basically, how that reacts. As for ISIG, so if you watched my webinar yesterday, we talked about how this would be a great short and how it would fill the gap at 950. I didn't do anything with this one because it didn't go to my ideal entry, which is around here. But it's gonna be interesting to see how this reacts. You know, there's a gap to fill right here at 950. So we'll see. You know, you have a gap to fill at 950, and then you have a gap to fill at 15. And if you look at what it previously did, this day it had the massive green day, and then it had the first red day the next day. And then it kind of just consolidated for 2 days, shot back up and filled the gap. And there is that gap to fill at 1505. So it is going to be a potential loan. We got to wait this one out a little bit. But yeah, this is going to be a top watch into this week. ISIG for sure. It can potentially spike. So right now I'm just looking to see how it reacts when it fills the gap here. Iron T, I wouldn't even watch this one. I would just remove it from your watch list. You know, it's been so long since it's been like a multi-day runner. It just keeps fading for new all-time lows, and it doesn't like holding gains on spikes. So it's definitely not ideal to buy the breakout on. I would just avoid this one. All right, so yeah, guys. I mean, for me, it's mainly just waiting for these stocks to hit key levels, waiting for SPY to fill the gap. So in the meantime, I'm gonna make some content. I'm gonna make some videos. Be on the lookout for those today. But yeah, I'm gonna be wrapping up the stream. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and also I'm gonna be announcing the launch of Trader Society tonight. So be on the lookout for that. The program will officially start tomorrow morning, where I'll be trading live every single day, and there's a lot more benefits included. So for more information, just be on the lookout for that to join. But yeah, I mean, that's gonna wrap up the webinar. Stay tuned for these upcoming videos, though. It's gonna be some important updates on PROG, SPY, and BBIG, and then OCGN. Those are like the top ones I'm looking at. Also looking at Zoom here closely. Zoom looks very bullish. But yeah, guys, I will see you in the next webinar, which will be tomorrow, you know, for like members only. And then I'll be posting like probably 2 videos today. So be on the lookout for those. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.